Alright, welcome back to Minecraft Hardcore Season 2, Episode 14, I believe, on day 162. So, I know I've been kind of messing up the episode numbers recently, so I'm not sure if that is the correct episode number, 13 or 14, one of the two. But I've been doing some things since last episode, as you can probably see by my shovel. It's, quite literally on its last leg. But, so, like I said, I've done some stuff. You can just see by looking in my inner chest there's some differences. I've colored the stuff, I have an entirely new shulker box full of tools, which I've enchanted these two since last episode. But if you remember, last episode I didn't have any lapis, or a couple episodes ago. So I had to go mining for some lapis, basically, because I accidentally broke my pickaxe down strip mining. So I had to go and make another one, but I didn't have any lapis, and so I decided, you know what, I think it'd be better to just go to some new cave with my Fortune 3 pickaxe and get some lapis. And I ended up getting like 45, and I also ended up finding 29 diamonds. But I found something else, which some of you very, very keen-eyed viewers will have already seen what's different and would have already caught what else I found. So basically, I was gonna go to the desert village that's that way, but I thought it was that way, so I ended up mining near the stronghold. And I found something on the outskirts of the stronghold. It was a skeleton spawner. But, well, I'll just roll the clip because I recorded it. I started recording as soon as I saw the skeleton spawner because I didn't want to like do too much. You know, I wanted to get recordings instead of screenshots because screenshots are weird in my editor. But I'll just play the video. So I just caught sight of this dungeon. And there's a skeleton, so I think it's a skeleton dungeon. Yep, it is. Nice. So it's What? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my fucking god. That's right, everyone. Another enchanted golden apple, bringing our enchanted golden apple count back up to 4. Which is ridiculous that we have found 5 total in the world. I haven't looked up the chances, but I'm pretty sure I know that the desert temple chances where we found the first 4 were 2.6% chance, I believe. So I don't know what the dungeons are, but I believe they're rarer in dungeons. Maybe they're more common, I don't know. But still, nonetheless, 4. That's, well, we found 5, but we have 4. That's ridiculous. So, what else have I done? Oh yeah, so you guys might have just seen him. When I was coming by to feed the cows, I was walking up here and I looked over and I did a double take and there was a cat. And at first I was wondering why there was I tamed it. And for a second I was wondering why the hell is there a cat here? But I remembered we have some villagers down there, and if there's some cats spawning, I really am curious to see exactly how many villagers we have. Oh, okay. So, maybe 1 or 2 more since last time? You're the mending guy, aren't you? No. You are. So we have like a couple new villagers, but they're all fully grown, which means we're probably... Oh, there's another cat. Hold on. I want to get him. But there's probably going to be some iron golems spawning in soon because that's just what happens. That cave sound weirded me out there. I'm getting a lot of cave sounds when I come into my home a lot, so I'm probably going to do some digging. Or maybe it's the cave. It thinks there's a cave because of the mushroom I built. It's hollow. Oh, another one just spawned. You come here, buddy. Come here. Yep. You just come. What? I didn't even do anything. Where'd you go? Okay, there you go. Now for this boy. Come here. I hate taming cats. They always seem to, like, walk away when... As soon as I start walking towards them, they, like, begin to walk away. Alright. Screw you. Okay, there we go. That's how you, Oh, and they... Okay. That's how you really catch cats. That's how you tame them. But I'm glad that we have cats here because cats are going to be needed for our creeper farm. I'd like to get some wolves eventually, too, over here. So you guys can all just kind of sit here by the portal because I don't want you making a bunch of noise near my house. But having a good amount of wolves and cats will be useful for, like... We're going to need wolves eventually for my... Well, I'm not going to say that, actually. Well, I mean, it's not that big a deal. Once we eventually make a wither skeleton farm, we're going to have some... We're going to need some wolves for it. But I'll take you guys over to Spawn Chunks to show you guys what I've really been up to. But first, I want to check over here for something. It should be in this chest. Yep. Wet sponges. Meaning we're also going to need some of... we'll just get 2 stacks for now. But, what was I saying? We're going to head over to Spawn Chunks, but one thing I want to bring up is I've been toying with the idea I had since, last episode, the idea about the whole story behind my world, and I've decided I'm probably sticking with it or something very similar to it. And I have ideas for builds. So, I'm not going to tell you guys any of the ideas yet. I'll tell you guys in due time. And I'll fully address what the, like, full definite story is going to be once, I finish Spawn Chunks up here, the build we're going to be doing here. But you can notice some differences. First of all, it's flat here because I've been mining away. I've decided that for when we get the TNT duplicators, I want everything on the same level. That's just the best, probably the best idea we have. So I am going to flatten this whole area inside the stone border we made last episode down to y equals 63, in other words, sea level. So that's where I've been kind of started. I flattened this area, I flattened the area beneath the portal, and I've been kind of chipping away at that mountain over there. If you notice, it's flatter. But we can see how this is doing. Okay. Okay, so it's getting to work. It's working pretty well. But so what I think I'm going to be doing in this episode is I'm going to be lining out all the rivers and oceans in Spawn Chunks where we're going to drain them. I'm thinking I'm going to do a, like, 6x6 area, like, so I'm gonna have to box it off, so I can drain it with the sponges, right? So I'm thinking the best call is to do like 6x6 blocks that we're gonna drain one at a time. So that's probably the best idea, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get rid of all of this place with the TNT duplicator. I think I'm going to have to do some mining. And if I am going to be doing some mining, I definitely would want it to be towards the bottom, because that's where you can get every single ore. We can get diamonds down there, so it would just be better for us to mine down there. But I'm going to get rid of that for now. So let's get into, well, actually, you can see that this digging is why my shovel's just about to die, but we have a backup, so it's not a big deal. But so we're going to have to drain out this little bit of the lake here and these rivers. And I don't think there's anything in this corner. In fact, I know there isn't. But this big chunk here is probably going to be the hardest to drain. Not the hardest, but the longest. It's going to take the longest to drain. And another thing is, so we want everything in here, right, in these spawn chunks in this border to be mined away. But it's not just going to be like a wall. There's a completely flat wall, like there's nothing sticking out. I think I'm going to kind of leave it ragged and all messed up, like if you would actually blow it up with TNT. But that begs the question. So when we get the TNT duplicator flying across here, the thought is it's going to stop here, move over a block or two, and then go back. It'll turn again, and then this will catch it, and it'll move it over, and it'll go back again. But TNT isn't perfect, right? It's going to blow some up along the edges here. So that's not really a big deal, right? Like, oh, who cares if this area is blown up a bit further? But the place that becomes a problem at is in the oceans at the edge here, that right up in the top right of the screen, because it'll blow up, right? It'll blow up the walls and cause the water to fall into the hole we've created, which isn't the biggest deal, but I'm afraid about how source blocks work, and that it's going to find a way to like form a massive sort of ocean, not ocean, but you know what I mean. I don't want the water to flow in, so I might go like 5 or 6 blocks back a grid, and when it comes to the any place where there's water just outside the edge, because then we won't have to really worry as much about the fucking, well, I can't speak right now. I'm getting distracted by Discord notifications. But god damn it, someone's fucking spamming me. But yeah, I think the plan is we're gonna mark out the spots that we're going to drain. So I'm going to get the sand. That's part of the reason I was digging all this, because I wanted sand to use to drain it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to set up some furnaces for the sponges, because we're going to need to be obviously smelting them a lot to kind of get them back to dry sponges. So that's only a 12, so we're going to need that as well. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So then the rest just has to go through here. And then spread it like that. So I'm just going to put in the coal now, and we can get back to this. Actually, I'll start smelting them now. That's the smarter idea. So that when we need them, they'll be ready. But I don't think I'll be starting the draining process in today's episode. I'll probably be doing a lot of it between episodes, actually. So, if these videos might start taking longer to come out, and this will be why, because I'm not really the biggest fan of doing of episodes where it's just like it's just like 30 minutes of uncut footage of me building something. I don't think that's entertaining to watch, so I don't want to kind of upload that. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do lots of cuts and not. I mean, sometimes here and there I'll maybe do some building on camera if I'm like talking about something at the same time, or I don't know, whatever other reason there might be. But for the most part, I don't like just showing this whole process and having, because then there'd be like 10 episodes of me just flattening the area, and then like of me just, there'd be like 10 episodes of me flattening this area out, and I don't think that's entertaining to watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. Thank you, Cave Sounds. But we're just going to grab some sand. And so this is the line here. So we can do this. So I'm gonna first outline this area, and then I'll bring you guys back, update you guys when this whole area is outlined, and then I'll start doing the more work and getting the grids down and stuff. Okay, so the border here is finished. I kind of just went right through this ship. Uh, I'm gonna get rid of it eventually, but I'm just too lazy to right now. But so this border has been put in place. Now over here we have to put in a border as well, which is definitely not gonna take as long because it's like not very deep, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this quickly on camera. Okay, so that's another border done. I don't think there's another place over here. Doesn't look like it, but over here there's another fairly sized portion. And then another one here. Well, I'm not even going to bother sectioning this. Well, you know what? So, here, I can just do this really quickly and just fill it in. So, might as well. And then we have another big patch over here. Yeah. And then the biggest patch over here. So, quite a bit still. We have to cover that river. But, so my plan is to drain all the water in here, and then we can while I'm flattening it all, I'll also be draining all the water, you know, and then once everything is flattened, all drained out, we can start the TNT slime machines. But let's check out how this is doing. Okay, so this farm still isn't the best, to be honest. So we're just going to do this real quick and take out all of these. Then we can just quickly throw them on in. And then we can just do that. But this is probably going to be a delayed episode because I want to drain all the water, at least in that portion in this episode. So uploads are definitely going to be more infrequent now. Okay, so it has been a couple days since the last recording, and I haven't been working too much on here, but I will show you what I've done. So first of all, you may notice there's a lot more flattened. I did from this area all the way over to that side, and there was barely anything over on this little part here, so I flattened that out. I also finished putting in the borders in the water for spawn chunks, as you can see. So now it's just time to start draining it all. But there is something I want to do before we drain, or I mean, it doesn't have to be done now, but I want to mark out spots to where I can make a squid farm. So I will be doing that sometime before I drain the rivers. So I'm thinking that spot there is pretty wide. Could work for the farm. This area is a little wide. There are a couple areas over here where it might work. I'm not sure. I don't know if it'll work as well if I put it in the ocean part. But if it does work in the ocean part, I will definitely be putting it there. But I'm going to go ahead and check how this is doing. Okay, it's not doing bad. It's not doing bad. Definitely not. So this iron should last us for a while. I do plan on building an actual like really good iron farm in the future once we finish up the area and spawn chunks. But for now, this will have to do. So I've started putting all the sand in chests. You can see here I have lots. And then I put the cactus and sticks that I get from dead bushes in there as well. But what I'm going to be doing here is mapping out the areas in this part of the ocean that we're going to drain. And then we can do some, actually I'm going to take all the sponges now so that we can see how well, like what grids we should go for. So I'm going to put some of that back. Yep, I already smelted up all the sponge that I have, which is very useful. I almost didn't do that too. I remember I almost didn't start smelting this, but I'm thinking that a 6x6 area to drain will work, because I don't know if I've really explained why I'm doing this. So, like I said, I want to have the TNT, the flying TNT duplicator. It's going to be going back and forth across spawn chunks to blow up as much as possible. And obviously, water stops. If TNT blows up in water, it doesn't damage any blocks, meaning that we need to get rid of all the water and spawn chunks. But so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe like here, and then so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the next wall. I'm thinking that'll work probably. We can maybe go bigger actually. Yeah, let's try one bigger and see how that works out. We might be able to go bigger again, so let's just try placing one sponge there, one sponge there. Wow, that really kills my frames, but it seems to work well. If we just get this, and we'll do one there, and then one here maybe, here and here. That seems like a good strat, just go on the sides like that. And then down here. And then we can just get that one with sand. So, we already have a little section drained out, which I could probably go bigger, but I think I'm going to keep it how it is now, because I don't want to risk, like, I don't want it to have the draining be a real issue. I want it to be relatively quick and easy. So I think I'm going to keep it like this. So I think I'm going to start getting some of the grids down, and then we'll do the draining after, which I want to do all in one episode, but I don't know. I don't want to have like multiple days of no videos, so I might end up doing just the grids in this. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna get to work doing some grids. I'll see how long that takes and then decide. Okay, so I have the first little layer of grids done here. And I think this is how I'm gonna do it. I've laid out the grids here, but I think I'm gonna kind of go like, I'm gonna go down in like an L shape, make them and then drain them, and then just repeat until we get down over here, where I'm gonna block it off somewhere. But I'm gonna keep going, and I'm still not sure how much I'm gonna do this episode, so I might do some editing and see how long the video is, and